Welcome to another FarmTown Mis-Adventure with Charlie Many Layers and JJ. And in this episode, Lenny. This is his farm. This video will be explaining how to do the basics of harvesting your cows and other animals, how to do it as a brand new person, to having a few tools, a little better understanding of what's going on, and all the way to advanced levels. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Enjoy. We're here on this farm of Lenny's, and we can see that he's got lots of animals. He's got lots of cows out here. Those cows on the outside are there because he already has 250 inside the barn, and he can't right now put those in there. There are other ways of doing this, but this is just one way that's very easy. There is one note, though. If you have those in there and moving around, it will slow your computer down. Okay? How do we know whether or not this needs to be harvested? Okay, we can take and just come up here, and I'm going to zoom in here so I can see what I'm doing, and you'll get a better idea as well. Okay, now here's the dairy shed, and we put the mouse over the top of it. You notice there's a little thing that comes up here above it, and it happens to say that it's ready to harvest animals. So how are we going to go about doing this? And this is for a total basic. I've got one farm, I've got 3 farms, I'm going to say, in this case. And how do I go about doing this? Well, you bring your mouse right over the top of it. You do a left click, and this panel will come up. And if we want to see what's in the animal building, we can click on the red there, the very first one, and it brings up and it shows us we have 250 cows and a little over 1,000 goats. And so obviously this has been overstuffed at one time or another. But that's another story, different video. But that gives us the basic information there, and it's already told us that this is ready for harvesting. So if we were going to be doing the short version of this video, he brings the mouse over, does a left click, and you come down to the second one, which says harvest cows and goats. Okay, I can't see it from here, but you can read it possibly. And all you got to do is click it, and when you do, about halfway up there, you'll see it flash through that says so many things are going on, and it did it. And now, when you put your mouse over the top of it, it'll tell you that ready to harvest in 7.9 hours. And that's how you check that. That's your basics. No tools required. Just put your mouse over it. Do it. Okay? Now, if you only got 1 or 2 farms, that's not bad. So if we were to go to our next farm, say, as an example, and I'm going to pause here while we go there. And again, we're going to go try to figure out where all the animals are. We can see that here's our cows. And if you'll notice, when we mouse over the top of it, it says it's ready for harvest. So we can just left click, and it comes down, the panel does, and we move it down to the second one down there, right there, and I click, and it did the thing up there. Now, that's all fine and dandy if we were only doing cows, but most likely you're going to be taking and not only doing the cows and the goats, but you might want to do the chickens and the turkeys and peacocks and the ostriches that are in there, and the sheep and the llamas that are in there, and and so forth. And here's our stable for our horses, and where's the pig farm? we got to have pigs. We do need fertilizer to put for fertilizing our crops. Oh, here it is, way down here. Well, this would really involve time if we had, say, 5 or 6 or 7 farms with animals on them. So there is another way. But we'll go to another farm here, and let me show you what that looks like. We'll pause again. So now we've finally reached Lenny's retirement home here. And now we know that there's animal buildings here, but you know what? I really don't see them. Do you see them? Well, I'm going to give you a hint. They're inside that building there. These animal buildings are actually inside of that and being hidden by that. That's a little thing to make a farm look different than what it really is. But, so how we could go mess with that, but there's a quicker way of this, and this is a little more advanced. Instead of going from one to one farm, from each farm, and then finally finding the animals, we're going to go to our extended toolbox, which is over here, and we go all the way over here to this left-hand side, just above where you see the blue man with the red dot, and that there is the facility manager. Now, facility manager has a lot of functions, and we're just going to talk about one, and this is Mis-Adventures. We just hit the wrong button, didn't we, folks? So it's probably because my eye and that mouse don't agree with each other. Here we go now. We're loading up our facility manager. This is used to work all facilities. Currently, I have gone over here on the settings, and this is its preference settings, what you want to do. And you'll see this one that looks like a little hourglass. You click there, and this is your settings. I have selected all facilities, but I don't need them all, but I've got it there. I've also got it for all farms, because we may have animal buildings on any farm. And then we come down here, we have a choice first. Are we going to have animal buildings showing? If we do, we have it clicked. If we don't want them on, you unclick it there. Now, I have purposely unclicked the regular facilities, and I have unclicked the service facilities, so that I don't have them in there. Otherwise, I'd be having all those. And I have a choice of having them in alphabetic order, which will basically put them in like they are right now, but I can't do that here. I have another place I have to do that. Right now I have them in alphabetical order, so therefore the chicken houses are first. I can also, by going over to this up and down arrow with an A in top of it, for it's in alphabetic, and you'll notice that the alphabetic is highlighted right now, but I can make various choices, and one of them happens to be by farm number. So I'm going to click on that, and you notice instantly we show on top, Farm 1 has a chicken house, a dairy shed, a pigsty, a rabbit coop, and a wool shed. And if I mispronounce those things, this is FarmTown Mis-Adventure, and I don't see well either. And then Farm 2 will be following down. So at this point, all we have to do is click here to harvest. We could go through and do each one of these, like, okay, I'm going to do that one. And again, we get the notice up there. And then I come down here and I find this here, and I click on there. And you'll notice it also does tell us in this green that it's ready for harvest. Well, I think that's the one I just got through doing. Yeah, see, it even tells us that. You can tell which ones are ready by looking at this. Will be ready in a couple of days. Here's the pigs, And this one here, it says it's ready for harvest. So we can click it right there and do that and so forth. As soon as we do that, then it moves it. And, well, I didn't get it, I guess. You got to hit the button, Charlie. And we could continue on doing those. Now, if we're really advanced, we can go in, and I don't recommend this until you reach a point you really need it. There are tools, turbo tools, that you can buy in the store, and they cost farm cash. Now, are they convenient? Yes, if you've got 46 different farms and you're sitting there trying to click between 46 different farms, it might be an advantage to you. You have different categories, one for each various type of harvesting that is done. 5 different ones. In order to do them, you would just simply hit one button and it'll do all of the farms that have any animal products in them and do them all right then and there. Just simply click and they're done. And that's the various ways of collecting your animals' products. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and you have a great day. Happy farming!